can hear me. I am testing out a new microphone. So if you let me know in the chat if you can hear me, if it sounds decent, if it sounds acceptable, I would greatly appreciate that. So let's see. Oh, can I hear myself? Okay, seems like I need to turn it up a little bit. Let me crank it up a smidge here. And hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully you'll be able to hear the repeater. What I'm doing, I'm testing out a wireless mic. It's there's two mics wireless. It's like a Bluetooth microphone, and I've got one next to the radio, and I've got one on me. I got a clip there, clippy clip. So anyway, I can hear myself louder on the TV now. So that's me on the TV. That's me watching me watching me watching me. So anyway, all right, guys. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Did you get to go to Dalton Hamfest yesterday? I was able to go, and not for the reasons I expected, because I had to get a replacement antenna and mag mount, because earlier in the week I was riding home from a SKYWARN board meeting up in Morristown, and on the way home, it got to be a pretty windy day in East Tennessee on Wednesday, and on the way home I was driving westbound, and the winds were coming from the east, and I was on the interstate going about 70. The speed limit was 70, and all of a sudden this huge gust of wind just came straight on, and my antenna, it was a WB4 Comet antenna, and it blew right off and blew back behind the SUV that I had, and it got demolished. I'm sure it was destroyed. I mean, I was in the inside lane, and I slowed down and got over. Traffic was letting me get over because they saw what had happened. And I pulled over, and the only thing left was of the mag mount was this skeleton. It was a tri-magnet mag mount antenna, 3 magnets on it, and it was scratched all to hell, and no sign of the antenna. The connector was sheared off, and my antenna was long gone, probably about a half mile back up the road. So it was a sad day for me. But let me see if I can pull up this antenna here. Let's see here. Not a very good image there, but let's see. Let me go pull it back up here on the Googles. There you go. That's what the antenna looks like. It's got that little J pole at the top. I think that's for 440, but it does 10, 6, 2 meters, and 440. And it's what I've been using on Simplex Saturdays for several months now, for the Tennessee Amateur Radio Association. And the Simplex Saturdays, I've been getting on there with that antenna, making a lot of contacts. I had a very good reception with it. Got on 10 meters and was making contacts out on the West Coast. So it was a darn good antenna. But unfortunately, it was no more. So I went down to Dalton yesterday and talked to the fine folks at Chat Radio Friday, and they thanks, John, by the way. Thanks for the signal report. Talked to Chat Radio. They had one held back for me, and I purchased it. They still had pre-tariff prices on the merchandise, thank God. And I got a cash discount, so that helped out tremendously. The mag mount was hopefully it's a much stronger mag mount. The magnets look larger. It's a different mag mount from the one that I had. So it's hopefully going to last me a little bit. But I went to Dalton for that. That was the big thing. And I did a video on it. It's on my YouTube channel, but I forgot to acknowledge Jordan in A4WX except in the end credits. I didn't film him. He was too busy selling stuff at his tailgate. But he gave me a ride down and didn't have to. I didn't need it or anything. We just decided to go down together as we had a great time on our way down, and he got pulled over by a cop on the way back. So, but they let him off with a warning, so he didn't have to pay. So now Jordan and I have something to give him crap about. But and you have to understand, he was going slow. I mean, he was going the speed limit, if not slower, the whole way down. It's a brand new truck, and we go through, I think it's Madisonville, and I mean, cops were just, like every 50 feet, I think. And there was one point where he thought he was going the speed limit, which was 50 or 55, I think, and it was actually 40. And so he got busted, but the cop was pretty cool. So anyway, sorry. I think part of it was we were distracted because we were talking too. So but anyway, great time, and it was full. I mean, the boneyard was almost completely filled up. Definitely a lot more than there was. And last year was pretty good. The boneyard was probably 75-80% full. This year it was close to like 95%, 90-95%. It was almost completely full. And WB4GBI Repeater. All right, if you'll let me know real quick if you heard the repeater ID, if it came in clear, John or whoever, maybe also in the chat, just to let me know that it sounds good. So anyway, we'll be starting the net in about 5 minutes. And there's going to be several topics.
For Oscar Lima. Yeah, Greg, I heard it. Thank you. A4OL.
Thanks, John. K4HSM. So, telling me on the repeater that I came in on the audio. Thank you, John. That's great. So at least I know I'm that somebody's watching me. So, like that song by Rockwell. Always feel like somebody's watching me. So, no, I am not a good singer. So anyway, one of the highlights, I didn't expect this, but I want to thank Tennessee Amateur Radio Association. They gave me this little trophy. They named me the Amateur of the Year for the Tennessee Amateur Radio Association. Got this little plaque, and I was completely taken aback by it, and they appreciated me for supporting the club, promoting it through the videos that I've done, through the Simplex Saturdays that I've been going out with. So I didn't know they had it, but apparently I got that, and it's going to go up on my wall over here. So thanks to Riley and all the board members of the Tennessee Amateur Radio Association. TNARA.org, Tennessee Amateur Radio Association. Give them a look and consider joining. And it's only $12 a year, which is absolutely one of the best deals that you can get for any kind of a club membership. So definitely consider them. But I joined the Clinton Amateur Radio Service earlier this week. I attended one of their meetings, just a general meeting. I wasn't giving a presentation there, but it was back on Monday or Tuesday, and so we did do a meeting there, and we talked a little bit about SKYWARN, just a little bit. So wasn't too wasn't that kind of Riley just messaged me on Facebook. He's YouTube famous now. So anyway, he but the Clinton radio service, they're kind of a newer club. They're kind of a young club. They're, a small club, and they're going to be doing some events over the next few months. They were talking about field day and such. So if you're in the Anderson County, Clinton area, Campbell County, they're going to be working with Campbell County Radio Club. So if you're up north of Knoxville and Oak Ridge area, consider looking up the Clinton Amateur Radio Service. I think you might be pleasantly surprised. So give them a once over. We got a lot to talk about tonight on the net. It is almost spring. Today was a beautiful day. My my thermometer reads 78 for the high today, and I can believe it. Going out with shorts and a t-shirt wasn't a bad day at all, and it was cloudy in some areas, but it was almost perfect weather. Got out and did some yard work. So it's been cold, but now it's going to be warm. I've got a feeling there's going to be a couple more cold spells before we really get into the crux of spring. But the the spring season's coming upon us. Severe weather is going to be coming upon us. Time to get prepared. Prepare for lack of utilities. Prepare for worst case scenarios. So we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We're going to talk a bit about the communications plans for your family, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the spotter training coming up. So stand by for that. Oh, I just now realized I don't have my script. Oh. I got to get my script. And I got to get the new script too, because I've been using an outdated one. So let's get ready. It's almost 8 o'clock. Stand by. And if anybody notices something going on with my audio, because the microphones may not be charged fully. So if they notice something, try and get my attention either here or on my phone. Just let me know if the microphone's cut out or if you have trouble hearing the audio, and I will try to correct it. So with that, it is 8 o'clock. Let's have a training net. When I can find my script, where the heck did it go? There it is. Okay. Attention all stations. Attention all stations. This is K4HSM. Greg in Knoxville for the East Tennessee SKYWARN District 5 Training Net on the 146.940 repeater. All traffic will be directed via net control. This net is open to anyone and everyone. Tonight's net will consist of announcements, and I've got quite a few of them, and a brief training segment. Although I don't know how brief it will be. We will take check-ins throughout the net. At this time, if there's any SKYWARN coordinators on frequency from District 5 or any other districts, please check in now and indicate if you have any announcements of your own. Okay, nothing heard. They might be outside enjoying the beautiful day that we had today. Hearing no announcements, I will now take check-ins. We're going to take check-ins one at a time. Give your call sign phonetically. International phonetics are preferred. Then your name and location. So if you have, it can be short time. You could be in there for the duration of the net. Doesn't matter. So with that, we'll start taking check-ins, and then we'll go to our announcements here momentarily. First check-in, call now.
Net control. Please check in Kilo Golf 4, Quebec, Whiskey India, Brandon, and Knoxville.
Acknowledging KG4QWI, Brandon in Knoxville. Thank you for checking in. Next check-in. I'm hoping this will be better for the microphone to not have this in the way, but...
This is Kilo November 4, Charlie Tango India. Paul, current location, Greene County. Kilo November 4, Charlie Tango India.
Okay, acknowledging Kilo November 4, Charlie Tango India. Thank you, Paul. There was another station that doubled with you. That other station go?
Kilo 4, Whiskey Yankee Charlie, Chris from Claiborne.
Acknowledging Kilo Quebec 4, Whiskey Yankee Charlie, Chris in, you say Claiborne County?
Claiborne County.
Thought you said that. All right, thanks. Good to see you last Tuesday at the Clinton Radio Club meeting. So I talked about it on the live stream just a bit. So giving you guys a little bit of publicity. So anyway, thanks again, Chris, and good to hear you. Next check-in. Okay, there was a double there with the Whiskey 3 station standby. Chris, did you come back to me?
Yeah, I was let you know from what you was talking about. We'll be getting there. The Clinton Rail starts every 4 Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. at the showing the Clinton. And last for some reason, while we don't, then we'll let everybody know then.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, 4th Tuesday at 7 p.m. for club meetings, and they've been having it now at the Shoney's off of the Norris exit off of 75. So thanks again for that, Chris. Anything else real quick?
That's all got. Go for it.
All right, thanks, Chris. Whiskey 3 Hotel, can you give me the rest of that? And appreciate your patience.
Whiskey 3 Hotel, uniform X-ray. Name is Butch. I'm in North Farragut.
Okay, Bush, got you in there, and thanks for checking in from Farragut. There's an announcement for Farragut here coming right up, so we'll get to that here in just a moment. Next check-in, please.
Net control, this is Whiskey Quebec 4, Echo Alpha Sierra. Pete over here between Lenore City and Dixie Lee Junction.
Got you in there, Pete. WQ4 Echo Alpha Sierra in Lenore City and Dixie Lee Junction. Thanks again. Next check-in.
Net control, this is Kilo 4, Bravo Charlie Lima, K4BCL, Brian and Oak Ridge. WB4GBI Repeater.
Thank you, Brian. K4BCL in Oak Ridge. Got you down. Thanks again, sir. Next check-in.
Kilo Quebec 4, Zulu Mike X-Ray, KQ4 ZMX, Greg out here in South Knox County.
Hey, Greg. Kilo Quebec 4, Zulu Mike X-Ray. Got you in there. Next check-in. Does make it a little easier. I don't have to dodge the microphone.
Kilo Romeo 4, Golf Tango Echo.
Kilo Romeo 4, Golf Tango Echo. Name, location, please.
This is Jeffrey. I'm over in Seymour, Sevier County area.
Thank you, Jeffrey, and appreciate that. Oh, you know what? I've been forgetting to do that. The county that you're in. So we may do that here in just a second. I'm trying to do some more reporting on some stuff, and so I may have to go back on a couple of you, but I think I know where. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I know where everybody's county's at. So all right, we're good on that. Just need to get Ken up in Delaware. He's I don't remember which county he's in, but anyway, I'm pretty good. I stink at geography, but I've gotten kind of accustomed to some of the counties that many of you are in. So thanks again. But yeah, you said Seymour. You're in the Sevier County part of Seymour, is that right there, Jeffrey?
Yes, sir. I'm in the Sevier County area.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it. All right, KR4GTE got you in there. Next check-in, please. All right, nothing heard. I've got quite a few announcements, so I'm going to try and go through them as best as I can. And then we'll take some more check-ins there after the announcements. But first off, last month on the training net, you heard W8 UFO. That was Scott. He called the net for us, and I appreciate him doing that as I was out of the state on my way to Colorado doing the net that night. He did the net that night, and from what I gather, it looked like it was pretty well attended. But he's hosting some webinars. He's going to be doing the fourth and last of these webinars. That's called the Radio Jumpstart. And the last one is going to be on Tuesday, March the 3rd at 8 o'clock. You can go back if you missed the first three, and you can check out the replays. He's got videos of each on his page for that. We have the information on our website at etskywarn.com. You can register and you can join up. The webinars last less than 30 minutes, so shouldn't take up a whole lot of your time. And again, if you miss it, you can catch the replay. But kind of looking at communications plans, how they work and how they don't at times, and what plans do you have when communications fail. So the last one that he's got here is called What Confidence Actually Looks Like Under Stress. So if you're interested in that, again, go to etskywarn.com, and the information will be there. I think it's the third article down below the district list that you see on the website. Announcement number 2. District 5 has a new assistant emergency coordinator, and his name is Jeremy Buckles, WX4JLB. Many of you may have heard him before. We had him on the net last year. He was at the time a meteorologist for the National Weather Service in Morristown, and we did a Q&A with him during one of our training nets in the past. He's left the Weather Service. He's now working in Oak Ridge and still in meteorology, but he has become one of our assistant coordinators. Hopefully we can use his expertise as a meteorologist in future nets and severe weather situations. So definitely looking forward to having him on the team. Next announcement, one of our other assistant coordinators, unrelated, Andrew McCrone, WX4KNX, he had to step down as an assistant, but it was due to work and other obligations, so he is no longer an assistant coordinator. He is available to help out as needed, if his time will ever permit it, but he's been pretty stretched thin lately. So we appreciate his help that he's given us, and we look forward to continuing with him in the future. And in a related announcement, I guess that's number 4 now, I think. I lost my count here. But we're also, as District 5, we're looking for coordinators who might want to be considered as assistant coordinators in several of the counties in District 5. Now, District 5 covers 6 counties officially. There's Anderson, Campbell, Union, Loudoun, Blount, and Knox County. Since I am in Knox County and a couple of my other assistants, Jordan and Josh, they're in Blount County, we've got those 2 counties covered. We'd like to have representation in the other counties, Anderson, Campbell, Union, and Loudoun. If you're interested or want to be considered, you can reach me at my email address, Greg, K4HSM, that's GREG, K4HSM, @gmail.com. and we'll see what we can do. Next announcement, number 5, I think. Let's see, carry the 2, divide by 5. Yeah, 5. Tuesday, March the 3rd at 5 a.m. Not necessarily weather related, but might be of interest. Weather depending, you might catch a lunar eclipse. I think it starts at 4, but it basically goes from about 4 to 7 o'clock. It's a lunar eclipse, and it's called the blood moon lunar eclipse. So if the skies are clear and you happen to be awake, then go outside, take a look, and catch the blood moon lunar eclipse. Between 5 and 7 a.m., I believe, is the times on that. So be looking forward for that. Next announcement, number 6, 7, 8. Okay, I got 9 of these. Okay. 6, we have on Tuesday, March the 3rd as well, after you've gotten your fill of the blood moon, at 6 o'clock p.m. in Farragut. At the Farragut Town Hall is a SKYWARN spotter training class. It'll be at Municipal Center Drive in Farragut at the Town Hall building from 6 o'clock until about 8 o'clock. They usually last around 2 hours. It's a basic SKYWARN spotter training class that's in person, and you can register on etskywwarn.com at the link that we have provided for that spotter training session. Announcement number 7. If you can't make that one and you happen to be in Northeast Tennessee, you can go to Northeast State Community College on Tuesday, March the 10th at 6 o'clock Eastern Time for Sullivan County's SKYWARN spotter training class. These are the last 2 that are listed on the National Weather Service website right now for spotter training for at least the time being. As many of you know, the Weather Service is kind of shorthanded right now, so spotter training classes were a little few and far between. So the classes, the class in Sullivan County is currently listed as the last one. Again, Tuesday, March the 10th, and it goes again from about 6 to 8 o'clock. It's on Highway 75 at Northeast State Community College. If you want to register, you can go to our website at etskywwarn.com, and the link is there. And then next announcement, number 8. I really am losing count of these things. Tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. in Hamilton County at the Hamilton County EOC, the National Weather Service is sponsoring an integrated warning team workshop. Now, this is not Sparta training. It's kind of a in-depth analysis and discussion of severe thunderstorms and tornado forecasting and the impacts in the Chattanooga area. This could be considered an advanced type of spotter training, but it's really not for spotters. It's more for emergency services and first responders. But if you're in amateur radio, you can attend. So again, it's at the Hamilton County EOC on Amnicola Highway, and that is tomorrow from 8:30 a.m. and until noon in Chattanooga, the Integrated Warning Team Workshop.
WB4GBI Repeater.
And finally, last announcement I have, 2026 Sevierville Hamfest is on March 21st. That is 3 weeks from Saturday, I think. And it goes from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you go into the Boneyard, I think you get in earlier. So, yeah, 7 a.m. for that. It's at the Sevier County Fairgrounds. And that's on Old Knoxville Road in Sevierville. So, that's a pretty good hamfest. Again, from 7 a.m. if you're in the Boneyard, 8 a.m. for everybody else on March 21st. Here's the information for the Integrated Warning Team Workshop. Now, with all that, does anybody have any questions or fills that they need, or they have announcements of their own? If so, call now. This is K4HSM, WX4TYS, District 5 SKYWARN Training Net. All right, nothing heard? Check in on the chat if you want, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we'll now go into the training portion of the net. We're going to cover at least a couple of topics, maybe a third, depending on how much time we have. We try to keep these about an hour in length. Oh, actually, before we do that, let me take another standby for check-ins. I know I talked a whole lot there. So if there's any other check-ins that want to participate, they can do so. If they just want to check in or have a question or comment, they're more than welcome to do so. Please do it one at a time. Call sign, name, and location. This is WX4TY. Standing by.
Kilo, Quebec, 4, Yankee, X-ray, Whiskey. My name is Liz, that is Lima, India, Zulu, and I am in Knox County.
Okay, got Kilo Quebec 4. Sorry, I botched the suffix on that. Give me that one more time, Liz. Yankee Whiskey.
Call sign is Kilo, Quebec, 4, Yankee, X-ray, Whiskey.
That was close. Yankee X-ray Whiskey. Okay, I first thought it was YWX, but went the other way around. So, all right, apologize for that, but thanks for checking in and let me know. Any other check-ins?
Kilo Quebec 4, Quebec Charlie Juliet, KQ4QCJ, Caleb Tellico Plains, that'd be Monroe County.
All right, acknowledging KQ4QCJ. Thank you, Caleb, and Tellico Plains. Got you checked in. Next check-in, please.
Kilo Oscar 4 Whiskey, India Lima, Will in Grandeur County.
Thank you, Will. Good to hear you. And I missed you at the Hamfest yesterday. Were you down there?
No, sir. I had come down with vertigo Friday and finally can stand up today, so doing a little bit better. I didn't make the trip down. Was planning on it, but didn't happen.
Roger that. Well, glad that you're feeling better, but sorry we missed you down there yesterday. You were missed. People were asking about you. So mainly Riley. I think you owe him money, don't you?
Maybe so.
Just kidding. Great to hear you tonight. Next check-in, please.
In for Charlie Fox Bravo.
In for CFB Jam. Good to see you at the Hamfest yesterday. Did you make out like a bandit?
Yeah, I made out like a bandit. I got one little item, and but you know what? Seeing you and a lot of the Knoxville area down there, it was very good to have the fellowship. Appreciate you running the net. In for CFB.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was definitely a lot bigger turnout than last year. I mean, last year was pretty good, but at least as far as the Boneyard was concerned, I'm guesstimating about 95% full on the Boneyard. So it looked like it was a pretty successful Hamfest for them down there this year. So thanks again, Jim, and good to see you. Next check-in, please. I am getting a dry mouth. All right, nothing hurt. All right. Okay, so We'll go to the training portion, and we'll do the first one, and then we'll take another standby for check-ins or questions, comments, etc. And as today was any kind of an indication, yesterday too, it is getting warmer. So we should be preparing for the spring storm season. Now, not just radio communications, but preparing in general for you and your family. Belching here. One of the things you should do is be prepared for worst case scenarios. God forbid it happens, but they can happen from time to time. But also prepare for lack of services for at least 2 to 3 days. I typically plan for 2 to 3 days. Some of you may plan for longer. Some of us that are in the rural areas of East Tennessee and beyond. They may be in areas where if the power goes out, it may go out for days, like in the winter time. My grandparents lived up in Claiborne County, and if the power went out, you were almost guaranteed not to have power for about 3 to 4 days. So definitely plan as historically as possible. If you've had lack of services for 24 hours or so, plan for at least 2 to 3 days. If you've had lack of services for 3 to 4 days, plan for about a week. Plan longer than the longest time that you've had without power or utilities, and be prepared if it ever happens again. One of those ways to prepare is with an emergency kit. And in your emergency kit, among the things that you should have is a gallon of water per day per person for general nutrition purposes, cooking, or maybe hygiene purposes. At least 1 gallon of water per person per day. I use distilled water, so I have 2 or 3 big packages of water standing by in case it's needed for power outages and such. Also, stock your pantry with non-perishable foods. You should have a first aid kit, and you should have some medications at the standby. Your medications like pills, they some have a shelf life, but a lot of them technically don't really have one. You can keep them in a storage container, like a safe or something like that, in a dry, humidless container, and it probably lasts you a good long time, like a year or so. But check with your doctors on the life cycle of your medications. If you have liquid or gel caps or some other type of medication that's not in a pill form, definitely talk to your physicians about how long they can be stored in a safe space. Also, with the checklists, I got this from the Alabama Storm. What is it called? Alabama Stormtroopers. So now this, of course, now in Alabama they do things differently because they have different kinds of situations and scenarios. Alabama's had much worse tornadoes than we've had here in East Tennessee. So some of these may not apply to us, but may be good to have just in case. So their severe weather checklist includes helmets, such as a bicycle helmet, a motorcycle helmet, or some sort of athletic helmet for every member of the family. For of course, like I said, down there they have more severe tornadic weather than we do here. So you might not necessarily think that you would need it here. But if you have a place to store helmets and keep them at the ready, then there you go. Also, good sturdy shoes. I would think work boots with steel toes would be something that would be good to have, because if you're in an area that gets devastated by, God forbid, a tornado or some significant wind damage of some sort, you'll have to walk through glass and debris, nails, maybe protruding from 2x4s. that kind of thing, if you have to sift through debris or you're trying to at least get out of debris. If you're in a home that's been destroyed and you're trying to walk out of it, you don't want you don't want to get injured worse than you may already be because of what you're stepping on.
WB4GBI Repeater.
We've already talked about the first aid kit, your general, supplies, bandages and tapes and such. But again, your prescription and non-prescription medications should also be in that first aid kit. Battery-powered flashlight with extra batteries, and a battery-powered radio and or a weather radio, and standard HT can work as a good weather radio. Most of the HTs these days have frequency extensions into the 160 megahertz range, and you can program them for NOAA weather radio. Unless you're in Canada, which they're going to discontinue that later this month, but that's another story. Next is food items. Again, the non-perishable stuff. In your severe weather kit, you can have energy bars and little protein packs to consume if need be. Canned foods and a manual can opener. Definitely consider a manual can opener. Don't rely on electricity to try and get those cans open. When I talked about bottled water earlier, I also forgot to mention your pets. So if you have pets, keep a gallon of water for each person and pet in your household. Can't suggest anything for farm animals. Hopefully they'll already have their water in a trough somewhere, but we'll let you figure that out. Should also have ID, such as your driver's license, cash, and credit cards. Might want to keep have a safe for your passports and your important financial documents and your documents for your home. Definitely keep those in a safe storage place. Good cell phone charger and a cell phone charging kit. I just got these in the mail today. They are little portable battery packs that I can use along with the battery. That I have a big battery box, but I also have these two now that I bought. It was a 2-pack, and I can use them for portability, and I can give them out to family members if needed. Baby supplies. If you have small children in the household, definitely consider them for an emergency kit. And a copy of an emergency and communication plan, which will be the next thing we talk about here in our next segment. But the emergency financial first aid kit, you might be good to keep a bit of cash on hand, because if we're without services for extended periods of time, you may need to pay cash for something. It's in extreme circumstances, a lot of places are just going to say take whatever, but there may be some that just have to have some sort of payment. Cash will be good, and a modest amount, not an excessive amount, but definitely a modest amount to get you through the worst case scenario. Okay, we'll take a pause. Are there any questions or comments on what I've discussed so far? This is K4HSM WX4TYS.
T4 Charlie Fox Bravo.
Yeah, go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think that everything would be common sense, but if the power does go off, be sure and eat your perishable items first, because they're going to perish first. Meat or vegetables and fruits that need to be refrigerated, go ahead and eat them, because here in a couple of days you won't be able to eat them because they will be spoiled. So throw that in there, Greg. N4CFB.
Yeah, that's a good point. And yeah, they're called perishables for a reason. So thanks for that that tip. That's something you don't necessarily think about. You focus on the non-perishable stuff. But yeah, definitely go for the perishable stuff first. So thanks for that. Also, be careful using your fridge and freezer, because as you open and shut the doors, you lose the cooling effect. So don't want to open them unless it's absolutely necessary. Um, any other comments or questions on this? WX42YS.
Whiskey, Quebec 4, Echo Sierra. Pete?
Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, Greg, I was just kind of wondering, in case of any, like, weather, massive weather emergency or heat situation or, well, time being what they are, is there any digital type of format like a FLDG thing or that you guys might be running in case of emergency or weather event to keep us informed?
Well, as far as East Tennessee SKYWARN, we don't have a plan like that for FL Digi. Now, Jim, I know he's with Meters. I hear them doing FL Digi every once in a while. Do you want to chime in on that one there, Jim?
Well, I appreciate the question. What we normally run is on the hospital net, but quite a few of the repeaters in this area have backup power source, and I think just about all of Tim's does. I know quite a few of Kevin's do. And the rack system has a backup. So for a while anyway, things will be normal. And then when we start running out of battery power but to answer your question, digital, we've not run any outside of the hospital net, but when we do our digital handshake, we usually say what format we're using. Usually it's the I forgot. But anyway, we normally say what it is, and so you'll be able to copy it. Hopefully halfway answered that question anyway. In 4CSB. Oh, one other thing. They do run the FL Digi on 150 on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock if you want to set your station up and monitor that to see if you guys set up right. N4CFB. N4CSB, this is Whiskey, Quebec 4, Echo Sierra. Appreciate the info, Jim. Yeah, I was kind of wondering since I'm already copying FLDG on another net here, but appreciate the info. Thanks, guys. Whiskey, Quebec 4, Echo Sierra. I'm out.
All right, thanks, Pete. And yeah, thanks, Jim. I didn't mean to call you out like that, but I just knew that you were better at FL Digi. When I heard the keyword FL Digi, and I figured that you're definitely a much better expert at that. I've started to look into it and try to configure something for it, but just haven't had the time to focus on it. But thanks for that. And yeah, we're gonna have a little communication discussion here in a few minutes, but did want to acknowledge. I mean, we don't have an FL Digi plan for East Tennessee SKYWARN, but we do have a communications plan. We'll discuss that here in a second. Anything else? Any other questions or comments? All right. Thanks again, Pete and Jim. Appreciate the participation there. Continuing on. Again, with your severe weather checklist, we discussed, the, battery powered radio that can receive NOAA weather radio. Most HTs can do it. You can get a dedicated weather radio. I think some of the big box stores carry them now, and you can get them online through your favorite shopping experience. Um, as you prepare for severe weather, one of the things that we encourage you to do is to make sure that all of your battery operated devices are fully charged or have adequate batteries to run them in the event that you're without power for an extended period of time and will have to use these devices, such as your smartphones, your flashlights, and any other devices that run on batteries. Also, one other thing to have for your informational purposes during times of severe weather is a smartphone app. There's the ones that most people, we've talked about this before on previous nets, where you have My Radar, Radar Scope, and Radar Omega. These are some of the more popular ones out there for weather, but there's actually one that's out there right now, and Anthony up at the Weather Service, he touts this one. It was done by I guess it was done by someone who works at a Weather Service office in Texas, I believe it is. But it's called Everything Weather, spelled WX. Everything WX. I know it's available for Android. I don't know about the iPhone, but if you look that one up, it's been a pretty robust app so far, and it looks to be free. I don't know if they have a paid version, but so far everything I've seen on it seems to work just well as most of the other devices, or the other apps that work on your device. So you may want to check that one out. It should be available on your app store, called Everything Weather. But again, you can go with your favorite apps. And these days, most of your phones will be pre-programmed to receive emergency alerts for your county. Or if in the case of what happened earlier this week at 1 o'clock in the morning, you get a blue alert for what happened in Memphis. So that came out at 1 o'clock in the morning last week, and I'm sure many of us were pleased to hear that it was for somebody that was on the run in Memphis. What a good 8-hour drive from here. So anyway.
WB4GBI Repeater.
Transitioning from your smartphone to the next segment. And this kind of goes in line with what Scott has been doing on his webinars. What happens when your smartphones don't work? What if you have a disaster that occurs? Severe weather can be, it's more often than not the most common type of disaster circumstance that we have in East Tennessee. So what happens when your cellular service goes offline? You shouldn't rely 100% on your cellular. You shouldn't, also, while we're thinking about it, you shouldn't rely 100% on your internet, because the internet may go down along with the cellular. And even though it could, it's highly unlikely in some cases, it's possible you can't necessarily rely 100% on repeaters on amateur radio. You have to have a backup plan. So maybe you should look at formulating a communications plan for your family in case of an emergency. Like I said, for almost all of us, the cell phone will be the first thing we look at to try and get information out, or try to find out information on whatever's going on whenever a disaster occurs. But next thing you need to do is consider what to do when the cellular service goes offline. What's your next step? And talk with your family about it. If you have radios, if you have ham radios, a lot of these ham radios, again, work on repeaters. and like I said earlier, they work for NOAA Weather Radio, so you can receive information that way. But what if you need to try and communicate with someone? If you're, if you have a medical emergency and the power's out, like here at my house, I've got a situation where that could happen. My mother is on oxygen, so we have backup oxygen. We have oxygen tanks. I have my battery pack that can power a portable concentrator that she has. But what if this goes on for longer than 24 hours? And we have to have a plan in place for that contingency. Also have one in place for communicating with your loved ones whenever something happens and you need to let them know that you're all right, or even more importantly, you're not all right. So have a communications plan, and it can cover other services too. Not, this is just a ham radio thing. GMRS, FRS, the MERS frequencies, MURS, citizens band radio. Have a communications plan. Let your family know where to go whenever something happens, where to try to reach out to them and let them know that you're fine or you're not. Also, you should have a plan for your home. If there's a tornado approaching, and Lord knows I've had an experience or two with that, have a safe room. Usually it's on the lowest floor, center of the house, or in a reinforced room or shelter, or in a storm cellar. Especially, I mean, that's mostly like in the Midwest or Alabama type places like that, where they have actual storm cellars that you go outside and get into. But if you have that, absolutely use it. If you're in a mobile home, have an evacuation plan in case of an emergency. One story that one of the meteorologists that used to teach SKYWARN spotter training would regale us with is that there was a woman who lived in a trailer park, and whenever severe weather was approaching, she would go to her church next door to where she lived, and she had keys to the church, and she would go there and take shelter whenever severe weather approached. So that's an idea. If you're in a mobile home or a trailer park like that, find a way to be able to evacuate or be prepared in the event of severe weather approaching or imminent. It's also good to have these plans written down somewhere where everyone knows to find it. The most often place everyone will go is a fridge. So write down your communications plan or your emergency backup plans. Put them on the fridge so that everybody sees it while they're going to get snacks. And with that, I will take a pause for any questions or comments or anything additional, anything else that they want to throw in on that. This is K4HSM WX4TYS.
Okay, Q4QCJ.
Yeah, go ahead, Caleb.
Yeah, Greg, and mentioning vulnerable population, maybe with dependencies on oxygen or other things that could require electricity. I believe you can get a hold of your local 911 dispatch and let them know those things so they know the addresses where they might need to prioritize, as well as the utility companies, especially the power companies. I'm pretty sure you can file the same information with them, and if an outage affecting those addresses happens, they put a little bit extra priority on getting power restored to that. Wait.
That is a good thing. I've done it myself. I'll talk about it.
And then mentioning, this may go back to what Pete had asked about staying informed if the power is out. Now, assuming a couple of things, the internet is still working at one of the sites that it originates from, and also assuming you're in range within a hop or two of a APRS digipeater that is picking these up from transmit iGate.
some people around the area, especially down here in the southeast side, have APRS eye gates that are transmitting the National Weather Service warnings, and those come out with an icon and the storm polygon and the polygon for the county warned areas that are affected. You can see those with an APRS client like YAC or APRS IS32, and some APRS radios will also show those in a way that's easy to see as well. I think I am done with my comments. KQ4QCJ.
Yeah, thanks, Caleb. And in fact, I actually did that, what you said, where I contacted KUB here, the utility here in Knoxville, to let them know that my mother is on oxygen so that they can prioritize that type of situation. Now, they said that's for a planned outage. They kind of qualified that and said it was for planned outages. In fact, the when I did call about that, and it was actually suggested, I think, by the oxygen provider. I called the utility about it. They first said, "Can we do that?" And then they found out that they could. So then I actually called the police non-emergency line, and the same thing. They sent me to this other number, and they didn't know that they could do that until I called and asked them to put a priority on us for in times of planned out. It's officially in times of planned outages, but of course unplanned outages. Depend. It's hard to say, but but they did encourage me to have like I was talking about earlier, have a plan in place in case such a situation occurs, to where I can get her to some place that has power or has oxygen capabilities. So yeah, that's definitely a good thing to do. And yeah, with the APRS stuff. Now, how are you able to do it to where the warnings come out over APRS? Did you say it was through like an iGate?
Okay, Q4QCJ. Yeah. If an iGate is configured to transmit, such as with messages that come from out of the direct area, the National Weather Service has actually been putting these out into the APRS IS stream where they can be pulled, and a little bit too much on the back end, but there is a ham that has come up with the server that pulls that and injects it in, yada yada yada. Anyway, iGates that transmit can be configured to pull those and do that. One caveat: if you do those and set one up to transmit that, maybe limit it to one hop so it's not flooding a whole bunch of things. Mine only floods the area that it can hear, or that can hear it rather. But anyway, yeah, there's some configuration with the client software. If you use a computer program to view that stuff, you have to download some shape files from National Weather Service to get it to show up completely correct. Each of the programs can show you and give you instructions on how to do it for them specifically. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. And if you have internet and an APRS client software, you can connect to the IS servers, and you can get those to show up as well without having to rely on picking them up over the airwaves. But if power and internet's out at your location, that kind of defeats the purpose.
WB4GBI Repeater.
Wow, that's good information to know. I don't have a way to do that right now, but I've been considering doing something like that, where I set up a kind of like an iGate here at my house. So definitely definitely good info. So thanks again, Caleb. Any other questions or comments on what we've discussed or on this topic, WX42Is?
Check in.
Go ahead.
Alpha 4 Whiskey X-ray. Good evening, Greg. Sorry I'm late. Obviously, if you've seen my message in Discord, it's been a tough, trying day, so to speak.
Okay, I have honestly not seen it, but I will check into it here shortly. Hope everything's okay. And yeah, sorry about Phil Fulmer.
Ha ha ha, you literally gave me a heart attack last night.
For those that don't know and probably wondering, I fell for an internet scam on Facebook, but I didn't. Nothing. I mean, nothing serious. Somebody apparently got hacked, and they put out a thing that said Philip Fulmer died, and I quickly shot a message over on Discord, and didn't think about it. But the link went to some site that you've never heard of, and it had more consonants than vowels in it. So yeah, it was a good one, and I didn't click on the article, thank God, because then I probably would have had it happen to me too. So be mindful of what you read on the internet; it may or may not be true. So anyway, thanks again, Josh. And I did, you can catch it on the replay, but I did announce that Jeremy is now one of our assistants. So hopefully he'll be a good addition to the team. Over.
Sorry, Greg, I'm editing a video here. What was your question?
I said it annoys me when people don't pay attention.
I deserve it.
No, I was saying that Jeremy is now part of our assistant district coordinator. He's part of our team now as an assistant district coordinator. So figured, it was going to be a good addition of him being a meteorologist. I think we're the only district in the in Tennessee with a certified meteorologist on the team now.
Definitely the MRX area, and I don't know if Jeremy's listening or not, but we can't say thank you enough. A little bit of background for the folks listening and not familiar. WB4GBI is Jeremy Buckles, and he was a meteorologist at Morristown, and raised up to senior meteorologist or lead meteorologist, and he was offered a better opportunity, so he left Morristown. I'm not going to say all the things where he's at now and everything, but now that he is no longer with the Weather Service, he has the ability to join us here. So had an epiphany about it, and Greg and I asked him, and he's gracious enough to join us. So we appreciate him joining the group there.
Absolutely, glad to have him. So, and it wasn't that he couldn't talk to us while he was a meteorologist. It's just that he would be too busy forecasting the weather at the Weather Service to have to talk to us. So, that's just part of the job. So, anyway, thanks again, Josh. And yeah, saw your message, and sorry to hear, but it just means that we'll have to talk one day. I had a similar event happen to me. So anyway. With that, before we continue on with the check-ins, I've got one other thing. Somebody messaged me just a few minutes ago, and I I referenced a few minutes ago about my mother being on oxygen, and Caleb was talking about contacting the utilities and the emergency services to let them know that you have oxygen dependent individuals in your home. So one thing to note is if you have an emergency situation where you are without power or you're low on oxygen, you can actually call emergency services, and they can normally send over supplies for oxygen refills, and they could be, it's more than likely they could be free. So of course, there may be caveats with that. I'm not sure. If anyone's with ambulance services, they may be able to expand on it. But they said that if you're low on oxygen, you're desperate in a desperate situation, they can supply free refills. But definitely check with them first before before you start calling out and asking for tanks. And Anyway, any comments or additionals on that, WX4TYS? And of course, that could depend also, just real quick, on workload and availability. So it's not a guarantee, but I'm sure in a seriously bad situation, you know, as I've seen many a time, people will move mountains to make things happen. So, and with Hurricane Helene, when the mountain literally moved, we saw a lot of examples of that. So with that, we'll take another standby for check-ins, and we'll see where we go from there. Check-ins or any additional comments or questions on what we've discussed, WX4TY standing by.
This is Whiskey 4 Delta Foxtrot Bravo, Jason in the capital of Blount County, Eagleton Village.
Acknowledging W4DFB, Jason in Eagleton Village. Thank you for checking in, and good to hear you tonight. Any other check-ins, comments or questions otherwise? You okay? I think this microphone may have died. Hopefully you all been hearing the radio. Okay, nothing heard. I did have one more announcement, so that would be a total of 10 announcements, but I did have one that I skipped over. I kept thinking I skipped over one, and I actually did. For information purposes, of course, if you are interested, the National Weather Service in Nashville is once again offering Weather 101 classes online. They come out of Nashville's Weather Service office, but anyone can participate anywhere. I've attended these sessions, and they've had people from all over the country attending these. But these are kind of expanded training material on on various topics and concepts. So it's kind of like advanced spotter training, but kind of broken down into individual segments. So some of the classes that they're going to be offering, these start on Tuesday, March the 10th, and some of them are daytime. They are offered at 10 a.m. Central Time, which is 11 a.m. Eastern, and others are offered at 7 p.m. Central Time or 8 o'clock Eastern at night. So some of these are for daytime folks, and some of these are for night owls. But these classes are free, and they generally last about an hour. And you can actually, interact with the presenters and ask questions. If you want to ask a question, you need a microphone to do that. But they go through GoToMeeting, so you'll download an app, and the app will install on your browser or on your phone. But if you don't have GoToMeeting already installed, then it'll just disappear once you're done with the webinar. But some of the classes offered include fire weather, severe storms, global circulations, machine learning at the Storm Prediction Center, the basics, kind of like a rounded training session, observations in 3D, satellites, winter weather, flash flooding, quasi-linear convective systems, or QLCS. You may have heard QLCS mentioned a few times here and there. How they do storm damage surveys from the National Weather Service, tsunamis, upper air soundings, monsoons, the radar, lightning, and hurricanes. So these are a wide variety of topics that they cover, and they're kind of advanced level. So, I mean, it helps to have a basic understanding if you've had basic spotter training, but it is not a requirement. And I've taken several of these.
WB4GBI Repeater.
Thanks, Chris. Sorry about that. I had to cough. I had a coughing jag there. But I've taken several of these, and they're all very informative and useful. Again, they're free. You can go to, I believe we have them on our website at etskywarn.com, but you can go to weather.gov/OHX, Oscar Hotel X-ray, /weather 101. And you can register and sign up for those classes. I try to put them on our Facebook page as they come available. Now, another caveat to this is if there is a severe weather situation and the Weather Service is going to be focused on that, these classes can be canceled. In the case of what happened last fall, there was a government shutdown, and some of these classes were not offered during those shutdown periods. So keep that in mind as well. Any questions or fills needed for that information? WX4TYS. All right, nothing heard. Last call for any check-ins, late check-ins, or questions or comments about anything we've covered today. WX4TYS.
Kilo 4 Whiskey November Delta for late check-in.
Kilo 4 Whiskey November Delta. Great to hear you. Name and location again real quick, please.
Johnny, I'm up here in Campbell County, McFarland.
Okay, Johnny, thank you much for checking in. Great to hear you tonight. Anybody else? Take advantage of the awkward silence. So, okay, nothing heard. Just in case, if you're interested, we do have this on a live stream. If you look up East Tennessee SKYWARN D5 Training Net on YouTube, you can find it there, and you can go back and review it, or you can sit there and laugh at the host. Whatever makes you get through the day. So with that, we will go ahead and start shutting the net down as we're up at the top of the hour. Did want to talk about one more thing real quick. I'll try and be as brief as I can, but did want to make this point. And I'm going to get preachy again. As we get into severe weather season, you're probably, speaking of YouTube, going to find some of the weather-oriented channels hyping up severe weather throughout the upcoming season. Be very discreet when it comes to what they say and how they say it, because some of these people are getting their information through what's called forecast models, and not through actual forecasts themselves. There is a difference. Forecast models look into the future like a big crystal ball, and they go out 2 weeks, give or take, usually. Some go out to a month. Some are trying to look at an entire season. But these forecast models are designed to give an idea of what's to come or what could happen. Some of these forecast models are based on a worst case scenario, some of these forecast models are based on other factors. Forecast models, there are several that are based around the world. You hear like the Euro model. That's the one that I've heard more often than not. There's other models that use acronyms that I can't think of right off the top of my head. But these models, they can all vary. Some of them go in completely different directions. Some of these models tend to have agreements in certain values and certain areas, such as temperatures or convective airflows. You may see some of that, or predictions of the jet stream. But then they go in different directions when it comes to other factors. So you have to take it with a grain of salt when they're talking about what could happen in 2 weeks, what could happen. Like today is Sunday, and you start seeing predictions for what's going on for Saturday. I guarantee you, if you go out and go to any weather site and they talk about the extended forecast and they talk about what's going to happen this coming Saturday, I guarantee you by Thursday it will have changed, and it probably will have changed multiple times. So trying to predict something 2 weeks out, like a lot of these forecast models do, can be almost impossible. Our technology is way better than it was just a few years ago, but we are nowhere near predicting what's going to happen in 2 weeks with any level of accuracy. And some of these channels, and I'm going to wear this one out again, social meteorologists that are out there, they are out there for promotion. They're out there to try and get you to watch their channel. So they're going to put out content that is going to try and get you worked up. And they're going to talk about, they're going to put out these big thumbnails with threatening letters, across the screen saying, tornado alley, destruction coming, we're all going to die, that kind of thing. And it tends to be based on what they think could happen in a couple of weeks. Now, again, another caveat to that. Sometimes there is I wouldn't say they get it right, but they at least get you prepared. And some things can happen 2 weeks out, but when you're trying to predict weather like that, it's almost like throwing darts at a dartboard. And I said I was going to be brief, and I lied. So anyway, K4HSM WX4TYS. Short story, long story short, be very mindful when you watch these channels. Keep local weather and the local weather service forecasts in your back pocket. Rely on them more than you would on a YouTube channel where some guy lives somewhere completely different from East Tennessee and doesn't know the area, doesn't know the climate, doesn't know the weather like we do here in this area. You all know the weather in your neck of the woods better than I do, and better than somebody in California. So anyway, with that, any comments or complaints on what I just talked about? K4HSM WX4TYS. Okay, nothing heard. Bored you all to sleep. All right. With that, any other check-ins? We'll take a last call and then we'll shut it down.
Wrong side of the radio. Recheck.
Yeah, go ahead, Josh.
I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, but it's definitely important now to stress keeping an eye on the forecast going forward. So looking at my forecast, which is my Tempest uses a combination of current conditions and AI to make weather forecast. And I'm looking here, and I found they're pretty daggum accurate if you ask me, at least temperature-wise, basic-wise. I'm looking here at the upcoming week. Tomorrow's going to be a little cool with rain likely at 64, but starting Tuesday, we never get out of the 70s as far as high temperatures go. What has me pretty concerned is Friday, the high temperature looks to be 81, and on Saturday, the high temperature looks to be 80, with both days having thunderstorms possible. So I haven't seen anything official come from the Weather Service or the Storm Prediction Center or anything like that, but that's certainly the atmosphere is waving a red flag that the switch is about to be flipped. So just want to pass that along, keep that in mind. A4WX.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah, and that could be another topic for another day, is discussing AI, but definitely appreciate that, Josh. Any comments or additions on this, WX4TOS?
WB4GBI Repeater.
I've had this throat thing for the last couple of weeks. Just won't go away. Okay, nothing heard. Time is now 9:13, and this completes the training segment for this evening. Before we close, just real quick, just last call. Any additional check-ins?
Kilo Romeo 4, Bravo Alpha Victor.
Kilo Romeo 4, Bravo Alpha Victor. Name and location, please.
Name is Rick. I'm in Hancock County. I'm a District 6 spotter, Hancock County.
Roger. Well, thank you for checking in tonight with us. We do appreciate it, and thank you for being here. Thanks for checking in tonight. Any others? Okay, nothing heard. I want to thank everybody for checking in this evening. Let's see, I gotta calculate this out. About 20 check-ins, it looks like, including your net control. So, as a reminder, this net is held on the first Sunday of the month at 8 o'clock on this repeater normally. So, therefore, the next training net will be held on Sunday, April the 5th at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And that, with that, this is WX4TOS closing down the East Tennessee SKYWARN District 5 training net at 9:14 p.m. Our thanks to Tim Berry, WB4GBI, for the use of his repeaters. And again, be sure to visit our website at etskyward.com. You can also go to .net or .org. They'll take you to the same spot. For the latest information on further events, including the SKYWARN spotter classes that we have offered in East Tennessee, as well as the Weather 101 from Nashville. We're now returning this repeater to normal use. Thanks again, everybody. K4HSM.
Good net, what I heard of it, Greg. Sounds like you got a good turnout too, so that's great. I can't concur. I didn't take check-ins with you, so I'm sure you got it right. But yeah,
pay attention, Josh. Yeah, no problem. Missed you at Dalton yesterday. It was a pretty good turnout, a bigger crowd than last year, I thought.
Yeah, I couldn't pull Dalton off this year, but maybe before too terribly long. Well, maybe next year.
Roger, I hear you. Yeah, give me a shout sometime. I'll tell you my house horror story when we got our house. We got our house here, and I feel your pain. So anyway, thanks again, and good to hear you. K4HSM.
Yeah, considering we were only 2 weeks away. Oh well. Back to the drawing board. Yeah, I'll give you a buzz maybe tomorrow or something. Hey, A4WX.
Got you in there, Ken. And thanks again for all this information, Ken. Yeah, I'll have to get with you and walk you through the chat on YouTube on your phone. It's a little goofy when you use the YouTube app on the on Android, but it's there. You just got to know where to push the button. So with that, this is your award-winning net control, and I will say 73s and thank everybody. Join us again on March the 5th, or I'm sorry, April the 5th at 8 o'clock for our next training net. And hopefully I'll have my throat taken care of. And we'll see what we can do to work through some of these little glitches that we have from time to time. And even though I've got different microphones now for Eric, that's for you, buddy. Thanks again, everyone, and we will talk to you next time. 7 threes and clear skies.